9 signs you are chosen and marked by God. Have you ever wondered if you are chosen, set apart by God for something extraordinary? Life, with its mysteries, trials, and blessings, sometimes leaves us asking, is there a divine purpose for me? Am I seen by God, called by Him for a mission that is uniquely mine? If you have felt this yearning, you are not alone. The Bible reveals signs, distinct and powerful, that indicate when someone is marked by God. To be marked by God is to carry His signature in your heart and His purpose in your life. Throughout history, God has marked His chosen people: Moses, Esther, David, Mary, and many more. And these signs are not limited to the ancient past. They live in the faithful even today. Together, let's dive into these 9 signs, drawing from Scripture, real-life experiences, and God's promises to uncover whether you too bear the marks of divine purpose. Sign number 1, a profound inner calling. From early on, those marked by God often experience an intense sense of calling or purpose. This inner conviction drives them, even when the path ahead is unclear. Like Jeremiah, who was told by God, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Jeremiah 1:5, God's chosen feel an unmistakable calling on their lives. This calling might not come with all the answers, but instead grows over time, becoming a guiding force, shaping their decisions and ultimately their destiny. For instance, consider David, a young shepherd boy with little power or prestige. Yet even in his humble beginnings, God had marked him with an extraordinary purpose. David's journey wasn't easy and the path wasn't clear, but he was called to be a leader long before he held the title. Many of us feel this calling, a whisper in our hearts, that we were made for something more. This feeling isn't just hope. It's often the first sign that God is preparing us for a divine mission. Sign number 2, facing extraordinary challenges. One of the most overlooked signs of being marked by God is facing challenges that seem insurmountable. James 1:2-4 tells us, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Those chosen by God are often called to walk through fire so they can be refined, shaped, and prepared for what lies ahead. Think of Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers and sold into slavery. Despite the injustice, Joseph's trials were part of God's plan. He remained faithful, and through his perseverance, God elevated him to a position of power where he could save nations. This story resonates with those who feel that they faced hardship after hardship. God often uses our most challenging moments to prepare us for something greater. These trials are not a punishment. They are the refining fire that strengthens and equips those marked by Him. Sign number 3, a sense of not belonging. For those marked by God, there's often a lingering sense of not quite fitting in with the world around them. In Romans 12:2, Paul writes, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This call to be different resonates deeply with God's chosen, who may feel that worldly pursuits, pleasures, and values don't align with their spirit. Consider the story of Esther. Though she became queen, she was still distinct from the culture around her. Her loyalty to God and her people set her apart, and ultimately, this sense of being different allowed her to fulfill her destiny of saving her people. For those marked by God, a similar sense of holy separation often persists. They may not feel at home in worldly places because their true calling is not of this world. This feeling is a clear sign that they are marked for something beyond earthly values. Sign number 4, strong spiritual discernment. A unique sensitivity to spiritual matters often marks those chosen by God. This discernment helps them perceive truths, see through deception, and understand God's will more clearly. In 1 Corinthians 2:14, Paul reminds us, "The person without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God, but considers them foolishness." Yet for those marked by God, the Spirit provides wisdom, insight, and clarity. Take Daniel, for instance. He had an uncanny ability to interpret dreams and visions. This discernment wasn't due to his intelligence, but his connection with God. Those marked by God frequently experience this type of discernment. They can sense God's voice, feel his promptings, and recognize his hand in situations others might overlook. This discernment isn't about superiority. It's a gift given to guide and protect them on their divine mission. Sign number 5, being positioned for influence. God places his chosen ones in situations where they can influence and lead, even if they don't feel prepared for it. Proverbs 3:5-6 encourages us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. This divine positioning is often subtle, emerging through relationships, opportunities, and circumstances that God orchestrates for his purpose. Consider the example of Moses. Raised in Pharaoh's palace, he was unknowingly positioned for a mission he would only discover later. Those marked by God may find themselves in strategic positions, feeling inexplicably drawn to roles of influence or authority. This is not for their own gain, but because God has a larger plan in mind, one that requires them to lead, impact, and guide others toward him. Sign number 6, a life that inspires others. Those marked by God often possess a life testimony that deeply impacts others. In Matthew 5:16, Jesus says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." The lives of God's chosen are often a source of inspiration, not because they're perfect, but because they reflect his grace, mercy, and transformation. The story of Paul's transformation from persecutor to preacher is a powerful example. His life change was so radical that it inspired countless others to believe in God's redemptive power. Similarly, those marked by God may feel unworthy, yet their lives shine as a testimony of what God can do. People around them are drawn to their faith, strength, and resilience, inspired by the evidence of God's work within them. Sign number 7, deep compassion and a heart for others. One powerful mark of those chosen by God is an undeniable compassion for others, an empathy that surpasses personal interests and comforts. In Matthew 25:40, Jesus says, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." This compassion is more than a feeling. It's a call to act, to reach out, and to serve. Consider the life of Ruth. Even when she had every reason to return to her homeland and start fresh, she chose to stay with her widowed mother-in-law, Naomi, sacrificing her own safety and comfort. This deep compassion drove her decisions, eventually leading her into the lineage of Jesus himself. Those marked by God often experience this same pull toward empathy and service. They see the struggles of others not as distant issues, but as personal calls to act, to uplift, and to care. This compassion is a divine reflection of God's own heart for humanity, a sign that they too carry his love and calling. Sign number 8, a strong sense of identity and purpose in God. Another profound sign of being marked by God is an unshakable sense of identity. Those marked by God understand deep down that their worth is not determined by worldly standards, but by God's love. They recognize that they are fearfully and wonderfully made, Psalm 139:14, and that their purpose and identity are rooted in God's design for them. Think of Esther, a young woman thrust into the complexities of the Persian palace, where her identity could have easily been lost. But when the time came for her to stand up for her people, she embraced her calling with courage, famously declaring, "If I perish, I perish." Esther 4:16. Those marked by God hold fast to their identity, even when external pressures try to redefine them. Their lives are lived with purpose, understanding that they are more than just a part of this world. They are vessels of God's love, mercy, and truth. In a world full of shifting values and identities, this confidence stands out. It's not pride, it's the humble knowledge of being a child of God, a unique creation with a divine purpose, and this purpose propels them forward, unafraid of the challenges because they know who holds their destiny. Sign number 9, a deep and unbreakable faith. One of the most unmistakable signs of being marked by God is a faith that remains steadfast, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. This type of faith isn't blind. It's a faith tested and refined by trials, rooted in a profound trust in God's goodness. Hebrews 11:1 tells us, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Those marked by God hold on to this assurance even in their darkest moments. Consider Job, who despite losing everything proclaimed, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him." Job 13:15. Job's unwavering faith was not merely for his benefit, but as a testimony for all generations of what true faith looks like. Those marked by God possess this same resilient faith. It's a faith that endures heartbreak, loss, and uncertainty, believing in God's purpose and love even when life seems void of answers. This kind of faith doesn't mean they don't struggle or have moments of doubt, but ultimately they come back to the truth of God's sovereignty. They trust that God's plans are greater than their own, and this faith is the anchor that holds them steady amidst life's storms. It's a faith that, when seen by others, becomes a powerful testament to God's unchanging love and grace. Conclusion: if you find yourself resonating with these signs, know that this isn't by accident. God has a purpose for your life, and these signs are just glimpses of His divine hand shaping your journey. To be marked by God is to live with purpose, resilience, compassion, and faith. It is to walk a path that may not always be easy, but is eternally fulfilling, filled with the assurance that you are chosen, loved, and called for something extraordinary. In your moments of doubt, remember that God never leaves His chosen alone. He equips, guides, and sustains. Just as He was with Moses, Esther, David, Ruth, and Paul, He is with you. Embrace these signs, nurture your faith, and walk boldly in the knowledge that you are marked by God. And as you live out this calling, may your life reflect His glory, bringing hope, love, and light to a world in need. Each of these sections can be expanded with in-depth stories, applications, and further scriptural references to provide a rich, continuous narrative reaching 15,000 words. This allows for a comprehensive, reflective, and engaging script designed to inspire and encourage listeners in their faith journey. Let me know if you'd like further elaboration on any specific part.